You are listening to the Postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast and the Glebe Central Pub. We love our new presenting sponsor of the Postcast, and my God, what a game, Martian. Brady Tkachuk. There are so many reasons why this guy is the leader of this franchise, and he showed all of them tonight. In every aspect of the game you want Brady to thrive in, he did. A 3-2 overtime victory over the New York Rangers. Martian, how you feeling, buddy?
That's what I'm talking about, Pilsy. That's the kind of postcast I like to show up for. A little fair weather postcast for the Martian, baby. We love to see it, and what a game for the whole entire team, I'd say. But Brady Tkachuk, man, what a leader he is. He has been, and he is, and I mean that's the kind of game that we want to see out of him, and that's the stuff that he does that really gets everybody fired up. He gets the boys fired up at the fight. 2 goals, holy Pilsy. I mean that's got to be his best game ever as an Ottawa Senator.
It's got to be. Like, how do you have a better game than scoring the game-tying goal, the game-winning goal, and fighting the captain at center ice on the road, let alone Madison Square Garden? Like, that's got to be up there with some of the best tilts that place has seen, even though it's seen some epic ones. Like, right at center ice, 2 captains, ding, ding, let's go. Oh, my God. That's what you love as a hockey fan.
There's nothing better than a captain on captain fight.
No.
Eh? Like that's just like you put up your guy, your champion, your leader, and like they go toe to toe. And for them to square off the way they did, like right at the middle of MSG, like that's a huge stage. Get rid of that undercard, Pilsy. We're going straight to the main event. Let's get it going.
Yeah, like 2 captains, especially 2 big boys like Trouba and Tkachuk, right? Like if we're talking about, I don't know, just random example, Tavares and Suzuki captain fight, who cares, right? Like that's not going anywhere. But Brady Tkachuk and Jacob Trouba, 2 guys with a lot of pride, a lot like we've seen Trouba lay out some people. He goes crazy with the big hits, and Brady doesn't shy away from the physical game either. So you'll love to see that. But Martian, as we do in the postcast for people maybe listening the next day, let's go through the scoring summary here for this game for the Ottawa Senators. Before I do that, though, Mark, just quick vibe check. How are we feeling after that win?
Well, I mean, Pilsy, up until the last minute, I'm like, well, this is just the same old story that we've been used to seeing, and I mean, even with and it's really nice to be able to see them first of all get that goal at 6-on-5. They haven't been able to do that throughout this year, right? Really to finally come back and not just come back and tie the game and get to overtime, but then to complete it in overtime too. Like we haven't seen that out of this Sens group at all this season, so that's huge. But yeah, I mean, like with the 2 disallowed goals and you know all the chances that they were getting, Kyler Mott was flying around out there getting chances galore. I was like, this is just a regular 2022-2023 season Sens game that we were used to seeing. And then Brady Tkachuk, he just does his thing. That was a great play by Shabbat to hold it into the blue line. And then who other than the captain, right, to get that game-tying goal? He's so clutch.
Absolute legend. And you mentioned the 2 disallowed goals, which are weird in themselves, but let's take a look at the 2 Rangers goals that did count, because those were weird and they were eerily similar. Like the first goal, Kravtsov shot, hits Hamonic up high, and Mike Johnson made a good note. Like when you see a guy go down like that and there isn't blood, that's when you know it's a real bad injury, because it's not just a cut. It's like you're probably looking at some internal damage there. And Hamonic, like even after the goal gets scored, he doesn't react or anything. Like he is down real bad, and Kravtsov hits him up high and he gets the rebound, and not much chance for Talbot there because that's a broken play that he's in all alone on. But right away you're worried because while the Sens are down yet again, and not that Hamonic's a key guy here, but you don't want this Sens decor to go down to 5 men.
No, definitely not. And then yeah, I mean if you're a right-handed defenseman, two out of the 3 of them took a puck in the face or the throat, right? So yeah, we didn't want Zaitsev to be the lone guy in there on the back end there, but man, that hurts like hell. Like I don't know if you've ever, I'm sure you probably have as a goalie being hit in the neck with the puck, right? It's like
no, I wear the throat guard. I swear by the throat guard. I don't care what anyone thinks. Sure, it's annoying, dangling and stuff, but if I have to decide between having an annoying, maybe not so flashy piece of equipment that saves me from getting my windpipe
man, there's
shot in, I'll take it every time.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Like, he's gonna be feeling that tomorrow and throughout the week probably. Every time he swallows, it's probably gonna hurt. So
Yeah.
that's too bad. But I'm glad to see he came back. I was actually really surprised that he was able to make it back in the game, right? Like, I was like, oh, you get hit in the neck like that, like that's serious. Like, you would think he would have doctors all over him, making sure he doesn't swell up and close up on him and make it impossible to breathe. But anyways, he's a warrior.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lucky he's back, thankfully for his health, and the Sens needed him here in a game that goes late. And yeah, like you mentioned, absolute warrior coming back in this game. And then the Senators, they score. Oh wait, we'll go. Should we do the non-called goals as part of the scoring summary,
Yeah, I
or
think
get to
we might
those
as well
later?
break those down too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, so
sure.
then what happens is this game goes into the second period. Brady gets a low wrister. The rebound goes right to Claude Giroux, and he buries the rebound. Seems like a good goal. Everyone's feeling good, right?
Yep.
Nope. The Rangers challenge that play, and we're talking about millimeters here. Like, I don't even want to say centimeters of offside here, because this puck is so close, or this offside is so close here that it doesn't
Oh yeah.
affect the goal, which is frustrating. Sure, if you're going to do the offside rules, then do the offside rules and call it how you see it. But when it's a play that's within that close and it doesn't really change how the play developed leading up to the goal, that's when it's frustrating as a fan going against your own team, eh?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you hate to see it when it's that small of a difference, and they don't originally make the call. And I think refs are getting pretty good now. When it's really close, they just let it go and they wait for the replay
That is
to
the
let them
play.
know what the real thing is. But
Yeah.
yeah, like and the entry there, like it was really no one's fault. Like it was so close. Timmy's usually really good. I don't know if you noticed, but like when he enters the zone, he crosses the blue line. He's never one of those guys who makes the extra stick handle in that spot. If anything, you actually see him kind of stretch out forward as he's entering to make sure that nobody's going offsides when he's doing it. It's a really nifty kind of thing that he does that I've noticed he does a lot of. But yeah, that one was way too close, and it's too bad. But I mean, in the end, it worked out.
Yeah, and they get it back soon after. Trouba tripping penalty. The Sens get a shot on net. There's a mad scramble, and I love this battle by Timmy. Timmy's battling for that loose puck like a badger in there, just going
Yeah.
for it, and he gets it, and he scores. This time, it counts. Thankfully, you love to see that from Timmy, and he's been quietly staying hot here recently, eh,
Oh
Martian? So
yeah.
that's 1-1 there.
He's still exactly a point per game, or at least 1 point over a point per game, I think. But yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's a really really nice pace for him, and it's nice to see him get a little garbage goal there, eh, Pills? Like just getting his nose in there and winning that puck and getting the goal. He gets rewarded. That's nice. So I like when Timmy gets a little greasy. I find when he gets his nose dirty in games, he plays better because he's got a little extra incentive to rub it in someone's face. I don't think he's not the typical soft kind of European player. He's definitely got some bite. I love that about him. So, yeah, that's the kind of goal that usually Timmy's scoring highlight reelers, and he almost had one of those tonight too with that huge toe drag. I don't know if you saw that. That was that was a great move that he made too, where he didn't end up scoring. But yeah, I love a nice dirty goal from Timmy. That's for sure.
Yep, you love to see it. And speaking of things you love to see, shout out Scott White, who says cheers from Glebe Central Pub. So
Hey,
already
look
our
at
first
God.
postcast with Glebe Central Pub as the sponsor, and we got some Sens fans there. So you love to see it. Shout out Scott White on that one.
That's a great way to start your weekend, Pillsy. A nice Sens game. The Sens come out with a win in overtime, and then you just head over to the Glebe Central Pub for some nice, cold, frosty, chili beers, and that's what it's all about. That's a great weekend. I don't think I'll be making it out there tonight myself. I had the old Christmas party with for the work Christmas party last night, so
Nice.
I'm feeling a little tired this Friday, but yeah, no, the Glebe Central Pub is a great spot. Love that bar.
Hell yeah. Yeah, we love it too here at the Locked On Senators podcast, and hope you guys do as well. So at this point, it's now 1-1, and just like the first goal, shot hits an Ottawa Senators defenseman, a right shot defenseman, like you mentioned, Martian. The second one here hits Zub right in the face, and this one, it's clear there's blood. He is leaking right away.
Oh,
And
yeah.
of course, I hate when this happens, Martian. Zub takes that puck in the face. He goes down, and Kreider just shoots it right at him. Right after.
Yeah, it's like the Doug Glatt.
Yeah, like it's salt in the wound. He's already down and out, and then he gets hit with the puck again here, and then just like open the salt lid and pour it right in the wound, because then Zibby bangs in the loose puck, and not only does that suck, but now the Rangers have a 2-1 lead, and another defenseman right after a goal. He's got to be let off the ice right away. And hey, shout out Troy B, also saying love the Glebe Central Pub. So we're getting a lot of love for the new sponsor in here. Thanks, guys. We appreciate that. But Zub did not appreciate that from Chris Kreider and Zibanejad as the Rangers go up 2-1. Martian, at this point, how are you feeling? Because you told us that that you live bet the Sens in this one, and you got them at a pretty nice odds, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I mean, but first of all, like, what are the odds that two guys get hit in the like face or neck and then they get scored on right after?
Only
like,
the Ottawa Senators.
You never see that in one game, let alone
My
twice
God.
in one game. Like, it's like crazy that happened to them 2 times in a row like that. But I mean, I felt like the Sens were really playing pretty well. Like they were playing the way they should. They were getting tons of shots on goal and chances and scrambles. And I mean, those 2 disallowed goals kind of told a bit of the story of the game too, right? Like with them, they were causing a lot of chaos and getting some good chances. So yeah, I threw a few shekels on the Sens at plus 650 with 5 minutes to go. That's not bad, eh, Pilsy? And I mean, I was sweating it a little bit, even though the account's looking good at these days. But it felt good, so I decided to go for a little betonline.ag action, and in we go.
Yeah, you love to see that. And Martian, that leads me perfectly into our friends over at betonline.ag. Yeah, we're friendly again here with an Ottawa Senators win. And it's the only spot you guys should be heading, like you are talking about with the Glebe Central Pub. BetOnline is our spot online for sports wagering, especially Sens games. And it's not just Sens games, though. You can also bet on football, basketball, soccer, the World Cup's happening, golf, boxing, UFC, whatever you like, they got it. And it's not just money line like Martian hit on. Martian, we have been riding Brady Tkachuk over shots. I mentioned it on the podcast today that it's guaranteed money. Well, cha-ching, it hit once more. So if you guys are following along, maybe I'm not a parlay guy, but hey, I can spot an easy bet when I see one with the Brady Tkachuk over shots. So we love having our friends over at BetOnline. Go to the website today or check out on your mobile device for all the trends and action. Guys, it's betonline.net, where the game starts and where the game starts and you can watch the game, and where the game ends and you can stay there, Martian, is the pub we just talked about. It's Glebe Central Pub. It's your neighborhood pub in the heart of Glebe. Great people like Scott White, like you mentioned. Great food, great drinks. Martian mentioned having a couple frosty ones after the game. Everybody loves it, especially after a W. So visit them at 779 Bank Street and tell them that Locked On Senators sent you. Scott White, tell your server, tell your bartender right now. I'm watching the postcast. Locked On Sens is giving you guys love. So thank you guys. We appreciate that. And now back to this game here. I mean, we haven't got to the second disallowed goal here. Jeez.
We got to stop talking about the 3.5 overshots too, because the odds makers are going to start catching on to it when all the guys are placing bets on it, because it has been automatic. There's 3 games out of the 22 or 23 that they've played where it hasn't hit. He hits it every time. It is the closest thing to free money you can get with online betting right now.
Oh yeah,
usually hits in the halfway point of the game, really.
Well, Martian, this is why we're telling people now, get there and get your bets in for that before that happens. Because whether we talk about it or not, they're going to realize it eventually, right? Like they got people working on this kind of stuff, I would assume, at BetOnline. So cash in while it's still good. Yeah, the thing is, it's minus 150, which isn't exactly a odd I usually go for, but it's guaranteed money.
Yeah.
You take it.
It's a nice little addition to any parlay too, Pillsy. Maybe you should start mixing that into all your parlays. And
that's true. I'll have that as my safety. Yeah, I like that, Martian. Thank you for that idea. Maybe I'll try that next time.
That's the play.
But things that don't look good in a parlay are disallowed goals, and we're on to the second disallowed goal of the Ottawa Senators. And shout out to Austin Watson. This is a nice play here. He gets it out front. It hits off a skate and goes right to my guy, Tyler Mott, who I thought played a nice game. Backdoor, Shesterkin. There's a reason this guy's a Vezina winner. I mean, he gets that pad on an unbelievable save. Even Henrik Lundqvist in the crowd is given the old nod and smile approver, like, okay, that's nice. That's nice from the King. But the issue, Martian, is That puck is under his skate and his equipment is shoved in. It's no goal. DJ Smith was furious. Like, he gives the glass a double smash, wakes up the arena attendant. He's looking around. What's going on here?
The double hammer fist right off the glass for DJ there. That's classic.
Yeah, that is a big move by DJ, and it's no goal. Martian, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, it was weird, right? Because you mentioned that his pad was pushed in, and that's what I thought that they were going to call it back on. But when the referee announced it, he said that it was an intention to blow the whistle thing, which, as you know, Pillsy, like when the ref can't see the puck or they think it's covered, or they say they're in their mind they're ready to blow that whistle for a certain reason. That's the point of play actually stopping if they go back and say the whistle's going in the mouth and something happens. And anyways, so that was kind of their explanation for it, which I found kind of odd because I would have thought that they would have just said, it was almost like a goalie interference type situation where they shoved the puck in. But I don't like the way they explained it, the way they did. Like, the puck was clearly in the net. The whistle hadn't gone yet. So to me, that almost should have been, I think it was as close as you can get to being a good goal. And that's kind of 2 games in a row now where the Sens have had a puck it looks like it's in the net and then it just ends up not being a goal. But anyways, I'm not going to complain too much about it. We can probably move on from it, but it's pretty funny that
I know I hate to be party pooping Pillsy, but
you're also goalie friendly too, Pillsy.
Goalie friendly show. I'm a goalie. That's the right call in my opinion, because as a goalie, there's nothing more frustrating when you make the save and the puck's caught in your equipment somewhere, and it clearly was under Shesterkin's skate, right? So it's not really loose, but it's still, you can't blame Sens guys for going after it. But as a goalie, when the puck's in your equipment and the players are just going ham at you, just shoving sticks left, right, and center, like, that is the absolute worst. And I feel like Shesterkin made a great enough save that he gets the benefit of the doubt and it's under his skate there and it gets pushed in. So I actually think it's the right call there. I know that sucks going against the Sens, but
hey, I thought it was the right call. To being a homer, so that's fine.
Yeah, so we both have our biases. I love the Tendies, you love the Sens, and I love the Sens too, but I gotta look out for my Tendies once in a while.
Yeah, that's fair. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah, thank you. So now we finally get to the final goal. Sens pull the goalie. Martian, before I get to that though, were you surprised DJ didn't call a timeout? Minute and a half left, right on that first offensive draw.
I actually was, because it looked like the players were looking for him to do it. You got a timeout. You might as well use it unless you're really convinced that the guys are buzzing and like just are chomping at the bit to get that puck drop so they can do something out there. But you would think that they would want to draw up that play, right? And get the guys a little bit of a breather there. But yeah, like you can see, I think it was Tkachuk taking that face off, which, by the way, he was great on the draws tonight.
Big time.
I think it was 57%,
I believe. Yep.
But at one point he was 8 for 10. So he was like really good at the first half of the game. But he like turned back at the bench and looked. He was looking for it. So I don't know why they didn't call the timeout there, but it worked out. So
you know what I'm guessing, Martian? DJ's like, holy crap! Like, I've tried to draw up a play for 6-on-5s all season. It hasn't worked. You guys just go like, why bother here, right? Maybe that's part of it. It's just like, hey, you guys are feeling it, Brady. You lead this team, and lead this team he does. And finally, Martian, I was talking about this. The Sens don't generate enough offense from point shots. And what does Thomas Chabot do? First off, we have to highlight amazing job by Thomas Chabot to keep that bouncing puck in. Remember earlier this season, I forget which game it was, but there was a game-winning goal, or at least an empty netter, that was scored because Thomas Chabot couldn't keep a bouncing puck in. I think Batherson went to pass it back to him, and Batherson goes to pass back to him, it bounces, and then the other team gets an empty netter. So big-time redemption for Chabot on that play.
Yeah, I remember that one because I was at that game. I think it was the Minnesota game. It was very early in the season. It was like their second or it might have been. Yeah. But anyways, it's great job by him to hold that puck in. Like, without him doing that goal obviously doesn't happen. So he did his job. That's what he had to do. And it was a great hand-eye move to keep it in. Yeah,
and it was close enough that I think all Sens fans were like, this is going to be offside, isn't it?
You imagine?
It's going to happen to us again.
Oh, man. It could have been I know it was in New York, so it would have been a throw things on the ice situation like in New Jersey when they had 3 disallowed goals against them. But Yeah, no, that would have been pretty frustrating, especially if the Sens weren't able to, win that game. And then I know what Twitter gets like, so that wouldn't have been very fun. It would have been one of those nights where you just shut the app off.
Yeah. It's as Sens fans, we know those nights for sure. But anyways, Shabbat gets the point shot, and Brady tips it in. He's in his office. 100th goal in his 300th game, and that completes the Gordie Howe hat trick. What a legend! Like, right? What a legend!
That's the kind of stuff that Alfredson used to do, right? Where he'd have big milestone games, he scored milestone goals, and it's like a game winner and a multi-point effort. It's like, man, that's the kind of stuff. We talk about it a lot, Pilsy, but that's captainship, baby. That's what it's all about. And to do that, like you said, the Gordie Howe hat trick and the fight included, that fight meant something to the team, and you could tell Brady liked the way it kind of turned out for him. I think he feels like he might have got the W in that fight. I think it was about a draw.
He gets the takedown, so that's nice.
Yeah,
to see.
But did he though? Because it's kind of like a half. Like he got the takedown, but he ended up on the bottom. It was kind of a weird one.
Yeah, that is a weird one.
I'll say it was a draw. I'll say that one was a draw, but it was a great fight, right? But the way he turned and looked at the bench and was just like, "Hey, like, let's go, boys!" Like, he didn't have to say anything. He just stared him down and goes, "This is what we're doing here tonight. We're in the fight."
Yeah, and I love that right away. He doesn't turn to Trouba. He doesn't turn to any of the Rangers players. He looks at the bench like this. Like, I went through that to get you guys going. This wasn't about our opponents. Like, we need to wake up here, guys, and that gets the job done. But anyways, Brady's 100th goal sends it into overtime, and this was a wild overtime. I'm so jealous of all the people at Madison Square Garden. What a show they were given. And I thought the Sens did a really good job circling with the puck and getting the New York Rangers defensemen to have to switch, and they did a good job possessing the puck to start. But eventually it goes a little off for them, and who gets a breakaway but Mika Zibanejad, of all guys. He's got all day long to shoot this puck, and Talbot, massive save. And here we have on Twitter Claire Hanna tweeting out Brady Tkachuk following the Gordie Howe hat trick in his 300th game and scoring the overtime winner. He says MVP of the night goes to Talbs. Goalie from the captain. You love to see that. He keeps us in there with that breakaway in OT. He stood on his head, made huge saves. Talbot is the MVP.
More captain shit.
Again, a leader. Like, you mentioned a Martian. This might have been the best game of Brady Tkachuk's career, and that's saying something. And right away, he's like, no, guys. It wasn't about me. It's about the goalie. Incredible.
Yeah. Pilsy, this is what good leaders do, right? And I don't know if I know you're an NFL fan, but remember the quarterback of the New York Jets just recently basically ended up throwing his teammates Zach Wilson under the bus after a loss to the Patriots where they couldn't put up any points. It's basically his job to put up points. So good leaders, when they lose, they take responsibility. They say, I need to do better. I could do more. And then when they win and they have a great night like this, what they do, he says, no, it wasn't me. It was the team. It was us. It was Talbot. It was, other guys. It wasn't me. That's the kind of thing where, he is so smart with that sort of thing. He's so good. The boys must love him. He says all the right things in the media. What a fantastic captain. And dude, we talk about this all the time, but his age, like it's almost forgotten how young he still is, right? He's 23 years old.
It's insane.
23.
He's only gonna get better if you can imagine that. It's absolutely wild. And speaking of only getting better, okay, Mika Zibanejad, that was cute. Nice try on the breakaway, like Deese. Brady Tkachuk on a breakaway. Though. Yeah, it was a great save for sure. But if you have a breakaway at that much time and space in OT at home, you best be scoring that if you're
Mika that place would have gone bananas.
The roof would have fell off, that's for sure. But Brady Tkachuk, I like this because Adam Fox tries a deke, and Shabby, once again, he breaks it up and he feeds Brady for a breakaway pass. And Panarin's right there. Panarin's chasing him, so he's got to hustle. And Brady's not exactly known for being a speedster, but he hustles. He gets the breakaway, and just a nice, cheeky one-touch backhand deke goes 5-hole on the reigning Vezina Trophy winner. How about that? So,
yeah, that was scrumptious.
God.
Just a nice, like perfectly timed, silky little backhand right through his legs. Like, oh, how did I not save that? But yeah.
Yeah, and as a goalie, there's nothing more embarrassing or frustrating when you just get a puck that slides 5-hole on you, because you're like, that I gotta have that one, and that is an emphatic way for Brady Tkachuk to cap that night off. It took 26 minutes just to break down this game, Martian, because it was that much of a hell of a game. So let's get to Sin Central standouts. Glebe Central standouts, as we're calling it now. Shout out to the Glebe Central Pub, our presenting sponsor of the Postcast. Enjoy a frosty beer there. Enjoy some nice hot food and some good service at your neighborhood pub, Glebe Central Pub. Martian, you are our guest here. I'm giving, like, this is the lowest hanging fruit. This fruit is in your basket. You're walking home with it and you're already ready. Oh, we have a guest coming in here, actually. We have a guest coming into the Postcast.
Brady Tkachuk.
There it is, from producer Ross. He snatches that fruit from your basket and takes a big old bite. Brady
Ross
Tkachuk
just stole my stand-up.
He just swooped right in there, vulture style, and took it from you. But you go ahead and wax poetically about the Captain Martian. He's your guy.
Okay, yeah. If we're gonna do that, let's do it. I know we've already talked a good amount about him, but he deserves all the praise in the world. Even though he thinks it was more of a team effort and Talbot did it. But holy Pilsy, like, this is the kind of stuff that we need out of Brady Tkachuk, and he delivers almost every night. He is a workhorse, an absolute mule out there. He throws the team on his back. Pilsy, tonight, Brady Tkachuk had 4 hits, 8 shots on goal. He had a fight. He had 2 goals, an assist. His stat line is incredible tonight. He even had a takeaway. And, even with the 5 minutes he spent in the box, he had 19 minutes on the ice as well.
Yeah.
He was taking face-offs. Pilsy, he does it all. He does everything you need a captain to do, and he is by far the easiest choice to be the leader of this team. I remember back, remember the old debate, Shabbat or Tkachuk, the captaincy? Do you want that smooth, silky, calm presence as your captain? No, I do not. I want the guy who drags the team into battle, and that's an overused thing that people say all the time about him, but it's so friggin' true. He does it all the time, Pilsy, and I can't say enough good things about him. He's by far my favorite player to watch. And I can't say how excited I am to look forward to the rest of his career and see him grow even more. Not just on the ice, but I mean physically too, because I feel like every season he comes in and he's even bigger and stronger than the season before. And that's the stuff we love out of him. So very happy with his effort tonight. He deserves to be my Central standout. And I said I will never pass on him as my standout when he's out there doing captain shit. And so I got to live up to my word. That's my guy.
Yeah, Ross and Laleem's Martian Central standout, Glebe Central standout. I got to get used to saying that. Our new sponsor is obviously Brady Tkachuk, and he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he wore it right after that Trouba fight. You can see he's got a massive bruise on his cheekbone there, so he definitely got some battle scars after that one. My Glebe Central standout is going to be, well, the guy the captain chose. I feel like that's a pretty obvious choice for me. Cam Talbot. Like, when you can come up with a save like that, and it wasn't just some scrub, Mika Zibanejad, like I mentioned, just to paint the scene, Madison Square Garden going crazy, overtime. It's essentially a penalty shot. Like, no one's even close to him. And you come up with a big save like that. Not to mention, I thought he did, yet again, another great job rebound control. I thought, and you look at the 2 goals that were scored, you can't blame either of those on him. It's broken plays with his defenseman, a guy that's supposed to be helping get the puck out of there, is down and out. So I don't blame any of those goals. This, like, an incredible effort by Cam Talbot here. Mind you, he did get lucky. The Rangers hit, 4 posts? Like, they were clanging it off the iron tonight.
Two within like 3 seconds of each other, that one shift too. I think that was in the second period. But yeah, you got to be lucky to be good though, Pilsy. That's what it's all about. Yeah, like anything, I think.
Yeah, I mean, hey, the Ottawa Senators will take any luck that will go their way after 2 disallowed goals. The hockey gods have to give the Ottawa Senators a couple posts going in favor of their way here. My God.
Yeah, especially when they're getting 2 disallowed goals against. Yep. Well, I'm guessing we're going to go around the horn here twice, Pilsy, because it's
I'll pass it back to you.
Where, we might as well, right? So speaking of those disallowed goals, my next Glebe Central standout. Apologies, it's the Glebe Central standout.
Nice,
now.
Martian. Nice.
Yeah, good catch. Okay, we're getting used to it. No problems here. But I'm going with the guy I thought you were going to choose because you said early in the episode he's my guy. And I know if I don't take him this time, you're definitely going to take him. So it's Tyler Mott, man.
Nice, I like it.
I mean, he was buzzing out there tonight all night. He was fantastic. I would say this was maybe Tyler Mott's best game as a Senator. Other than maybe a couple preseason efforts, he had the disallowed goal, as we mentioned. He had the 3 shots on goal. He was credited with 4 hits as well. So I'm going with Tyler Mott. That's for sure.
No, I like that pick. I thought he played well, and I feel like I'm really starting to see more chemistry between Tyler Mott and Matthew Joseph. It seems like they're starting to click here, which is a welcome sign, that's for sure, because that third line kind of lost their identity for a bit here. So I'm glad they figured that out.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, absolutely.
So my next Glebe Central standout is going to be a guy we've been hard on here, but when he's good, you got to give it to him. That's Thomas Chabot. Like I mentioned, that play where he keeps the puck in at the blue line, that is such a crucial play, because if he doesn't, maybe the Rangers don't score there, but then the Sens have to regroup. You're killing time off the clock, and that momentum's gone. So, and then cap it off, not only does he keep it in, but he does what I've been begging Ottawa Senators defensemen to do, get that low wrister through from the point shot, and let your guys in front bang in the rebounds. And who better than when Brady Tkachuk is sitting right there? So that was great from Thomas Chabot. And again, in overtime, he gets the assist, a tape-to-tape pass. Sure, it's a pass you expect a defenseman like him to make, but the lights are bright. It's a big moment, and he's got to hit Brady in stride, and he does it. Great pass. So Thomas Chabot, my second Glebe Central standout.
Nice choice, Pilsy. Very nice. I think we did well there with the standouts. I don't think we left anyone out.
I don't think so. We hit the obvious ones, that's for sure. That's what you like to see here.
I'm just giving the hard time to the old producer in the back here. Is like, oh, pick this guy, and it's like those are the guys we already named.
Yeah, Ross is multitasking right now. I tend to give him a pass when he's multitasking, although it would be nice if he listened to what I was saying once in a while. So the Ottawa Senators, they get a 3-2 overtime win in Madison Square Garden. I mean, this feels good. Like, does this feel like a fake glimmer of hope, or how are you feeling after this game, Martian?
Well, this is funny because it's kind of you guys talked about it earlier in the week on the main podcast that, you know, this is kind of the worst case scenario for like what this team is trying to achieve this season. It's either you want to win both and get kind of back in the mix a little bit here as best as possible, or you lose both and you're kind of on team tank at that point. I'm definitely against that. I'm at the point where I would just love to watch some wins.
Yes, so, Martian. Yes.
I'm definitely, I side with you there for sure. I'll take the split. I'm not, obviously going 2-0 against the Rangers would be better. But I'll be happy with the win here. And it's just another thing they can build off of. The last few games haven't been that terrible. So it's good. Yeah, especially tonight. Tonight was obviously awesome.
Yeah, and tonight you finally get the process and the results match. Like so many games, the Sens process has been good, but they just can't get the win. Or at the very least, they can't even get it to overtime. And the Sens score a 6-on-5 goal. You'll love to see that. I thought all around, that's the kind of game the Sens need, especially in a road game where they've struggled massively this season. And you got another game tomorrow up against a team that you should be able to beat at home. So you get a little boost here and you're able to come into tomorrow's game feeling good about yourself. So yeah, I know it's smart to tank right now because of this draft class and the Sens are clearly out of it, but I'm sick of tanking. We've been tanking. We've been rebuilding. I just want to watch fun hockey and see this team win some games finally.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you there, buddy, for sure. Definitely. I mean, as much as we know that like there's a couple generational possibly talented players who have generational talent who are in this draft class with Connor Bedard. But yeah, for me too, I even if they do end up like coming last, which I think is like the very unlikely, even if they try to be as bad as they can be, there's some other pretty bad teams in the league. Like you're still not guaranteed to get that pick. So you might as well just, play it out, try your hardest, and let's just try to grow as a group here, continue to get better. And And then, I mean, I guess at this point we're already in the preseason for the 2023-2024 season. So let's get the legs under us here and get the boys going.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, it's a Sens win. So we got to see who's going to get the goggles here. It's looking pretty clear that Brady Tkachuk is the leader. We've got Cam Talbot, 10%, Brady Tkachuk, 86%, Thomas Chabot, 1%, and Tyler Mott, 3%. I mean, if you're voting for anyone other than Brady Tkachuk right now, unless am I doing what I always do? Does he already have them? Okay, no.
No,
I always do that. Cat has them, so that's good. Like, you're giving it to Brady. Like,
you would think that he's going to give them to Brady, although Brady gave them to him. So it may be that like they want to snap it around a little bit more. Can't be going back and forth between Brick and Brady all the time. So I won't be surprised if he goes with Talbot or Mott.
Honestly, so all of the options are good options if you ask Williams Martian.
I do think Mott had a really good game.
Oh man, did Chabot get them? Is that what we're seeing here? Oh no, he didn't. Okay, that's Ross's vote is Chabot. Yeah, so this is a feel good game for the Ottawa Senators. They win in overtime, an emphatic win by our guy Brady Tkachuk, our captain, our leader, captain shit. And Ross is going to have a quick word here before we hop out.
I just have a stat here, and again, tune into the postcast tomorrow after Sens and Sharks. Brady Tkachuk became the first player to score a game-tying goal in the final minute of regulation and then the winner in the final minute of overtime since his brother Matthew did on Halloween of 2019. Unbelievable stat there.
Nice.
That's hilarious. And this family's crazy, man, because it's so funny. I saw a stat too that his father also scored. I want to get this. I want to make sure I get this right. I can't actually remember exactly.
Oh, if you don't get it right, Ross will not be okay.
He scored his 100th goal as well on his 300th game as well.
I think that's right.
I think they have the same amount of goals and the same amount of plays games this point of their careers.
So, 3 points in their 300th game.
Okay.
That's there we are, and that's Keith. So Brady connecting to his brother and dad with the stats on this one. You love to see it. You even love to see it more in overtime wins. So guys, for everyone in the postcast, this was a massive postcast. Over 250 people consistently here. This is what happens when the vibes are good. We're so happy to welcome all of you and bring everyone together in this community. The chat was off the hook. Ross can't even help himself. He's got to pop in and out here when he's at work. Glebe Central Pub, our new sponsor. Everything is looking good now. It is a good night to be a Sens fan. And the best thing is Ross looks weird. That's why we got him off camera producing here, Sean, for a little while here. A fat postcast. Love it from Williams Martian. I'm finally parking this bus here, guys. 3-2 overtime win over the New York Rangers. This has been the postcast presented by the Locked On Senators podcast and presented by our new sponsor, Glebe Central Pub. Go there, guys, for all your Sens games. Thank you so much for listening. Your Ottawa Senators win 3-2 in overtime over the New York Rangers. Brady Tkachuk is the best captain in this league. Thank you all, and good night.
Nice.